Hey, what up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. It is opening day, so for all of those who celebrate, Merry Christmas, we made it. This is your boy K-Rob, the Human Sports Encyclopedia, back with another video, and just in time, and as I record, the St. Louis Cardinals are currently in a rain delay for opening day, hosting the Minnesota Twins, so hopefully this game will get underway soon. But in the meantime, while we do have some action going on, Red Sox, or not Red Sox, they're about to get underway at the time of this recording, but the Orioles are at the Blue Jays right now, and the Brewers are at the Yankees. A handful of other games set to get underway. Cardinals are supposed to be 3:15 first pitch, but like I said, rain delay, but we made it. It's one of my favorite times of the year, and a shout out to my mom. This is her favorite time of the year. There is no bigger fan of the St. Louis Cardinals and nobody who loves baseball more than my mother. So, that's for you, Mama. In the meantime, while we're waiting, we're going to go ahead and check out the man, the myth, the legend, the GOAT, Urinating Trees Hater's Guide to the 2025 MLB season. We'll see what he's got to say about all 30 teams except the Chicago White Sox. Actually, I take that back. I look forward to what he's got to say about the White Sox. Could they possibly be worse than last year? Remember, they set the record for losses, 121 losses, and I even read that they have already had 6 players or pitchers already have Tommy John surgery. Could it get worse? Well, you could be playing in a AA ballpark, so let's see what he has to say about the Oakland Athletics. I will not call them anything but Oakland. John Fisher, well, you know where you can go. Anyway, guys, hope you love the video. Leave a comment down below on what you think, and tell me who your team is, who you rock with, and subscribe to the channel, and let's get this thing rolling.
Baseball is quickly becoming a world of haves and have-nots. The likes of the Mets, Dodgers, and Yankees feast on the sport's riches. Meanwhile, countless teams have either lost or are in danger of losing their RSN deals, thus forcing the victims to reduce payroll by tens of millions of dollars.
Poor Rockies.
On one end, you have the Cubs-Dodgers Japan Series, with tickets reaching $2,000 just to get into the door.
Damn.
Meanwhile, they're all but giving away tickets to the Blue Jays and Marlins openers. You know what I'm going to say, right? You got to use C, the sponsor of this video, to take full advantage
beautiful
of baseball.
segue.
Their app, it lets me scour through everything on the market to secure
See a lifetime. Dude, just terrible.
Green means good, red.
I'm also curious what the Rays ticket prices are going to be since they're playing at Steinbrenner Field this year. The Yankees have loaned out their minor league facility to the Rays while Tropicana Field gets fixed because they are not getting a new stadium. That deal got nixed. I can imagine because it's a smaller ballpark, the ticket prices will be really high.
It means bad. The app gives me a nice view from where I'll be sitting. Plus, all tickets are verified for authenticity. I'm going to be honest, more than a few teams could use the code trade.
RSN deal not included.
Sorry, boys. CD won't be able to play first base for you this year. You can only go over every team in painful detail. You have a core that has the potential to compete for a World Series. The riches in your farm system have borne fruit, yet a late season collapses sowing doubt into fans everywhere. You need to overcome the Angelo stereotype any way you can. What do you do to counter it? Settle it on one-year stopgaps. Just vaguely say to the fans you're targeting improvements and call it a day. Nothing against Ground Chuck, but his 41-year-old arm...
Charlie Morton's still around?
Tomoyuki Sagano could be okay, I guess, but are they trying a Draft to Glory franchise mode or something? Any real improvement will have to come from within, like Felix Bautista being back. The team is Jekyll and Hyde as Adley Rutschman was last year. And that's how a fan base is furious with what they call Angelo 2.0. No spending limit, huh? Ignore that they drastically increase payroll when you say that, though. Boston, what is it you truly seek out of life? Do you desire a return to the postseason? Are you held back by FSG's desire to maximize profits? Really waiting for prospect reinforcements to arrive before making a move? A little of all three, perhaps? The Sox went retro with their moves. The last time they brought in an elite pitcher from the White Sox, it was tremendously successful.
Yeah, Chris Sale.
Jake cost a ton, but fuck it, they need an ace. Walker Buehler could maintain his World Series form as well. The bullpen, throw a gas can named Aroldis Chapman on it.
Oh boy.
Alex Bregman's still lingering around free agency, isn't he?
40
mil? To play second base?
What?
That's because Devers would straight up ask for a trade if they rip him from third. Because his propensity for errors in the position truly justifies it. The Red Sox are a wild card. If everything pans out, a return to October is in order. If not, profit was made. By Trevor Story. Fifth inning lives on in their haters. Getting that close to loading over the baseball world again is a bitter feeling to anyone who experiences it. Instead, they have to deal with younger brother from Queens whipping out his e-penis. As Juan Soto commits the ultimate high pressure.
If that is the biggest little brother syndrome contract in the history of sports. The Mets cannot get over the fact that they can't get over being more popular than the Yankees. Just accept that you are who you are, and they are who they are. I don't wish ill ever on an athlete, but something tells me something is going to go wrong with that contract, and I hope it doesn't. But yikes, the precedent in sports, it's there.
Price betrayal for a family suite. The Pinstripes must respond in kind by spending money on quality talents. Max Fried and Devin Williams added to further solidify a strong pitching core. An increasingly cancerous Marcus Stroman. Hitters that would have been elite in 2020. All Goldschmidt and Cody Bellinger still have some value, though. And they are upgrades. It all relies on Aaron Judge staying healthy, returning to right field, but there's talent in these no longer clean-shaven men. Yet this might be all for naught. There's a big problem they need to address.
Garrett Cole
might be out for the year, but it's expected that he'll be forced into the shop at any given point. Remember when we all thought Garrett Cole defied the Tommy John gods last year? Yeah, about that. Yeah. LeMahieu got hurt in solidarity. I feel sorry for the Yanks, but I really don't. This franchise should be thanking God above that John Fisher exists. Natural disasters forced them to Tampa, and another one's taking place in real time. We should be discussing the Rays getting a significant chunk of arms, including Shane McClanahan back from injury. We should be wondering if Ha-Seong Kim will be the piece they need to replace Wander Franco going short. It's a team that has postseason potential if health happens to be on their side. Yet we're stuck with off-field drama. As their short-term future is in the Yankees minor league stadium, another stadium deal went the way of the drop.
Damn, man, look at that.
Reds. More shock, St. Pete's mayor actually trusted his shyster to do the right thing. With all this bullshit, it doesn't matter how good the Rays' development and resilience is. Now with the rumors of Orlando, Nashville, Charlotte, Montreal, Utah, and Portland plaguing them every single year, enough with the lack of elite hitting. Sell the fucking team, Stu. No wonder why baseball wants you on ASAP. It's a year in the 21st century, which means another opportunity for the Blue Jays to relentlessly piss off their fans.
Underachievers.
Only they finish second in their division as often as they do for most free agent targets. It's a bit of a stretch after last year. I'll give them credit, they at least did things this offseason. Bringing in Andres Jimenez via trade, signing a 30-year-old corner outfielder coming off a career season, a reliever that Baltimore got scared off from during a physical, and a 40-year-old Max Scherzer dealing with a thumb injury. Totally worth wasting another year of the core. Oh, you didn't know, did you? Vlad Jr. and Toronto aren't anywhere close to a deal.
You better be careful.
This year. You do the math. These guys need to get their shit together and fast. If they fail again, if Bo Bichette has another nightmare year, the nukes might be flying in Rogers Center. Schneider and Atkins will somehow still survive the blast. Take arguably the worst in baseball history. Now shed significant payroll and get rid of some of the better players on the roster. Name of the game is watching Luis Robert dissipate into the wind in real time as the great tank rolls on for the second time in a decade. Surely with a good chunk of deadweight out of the way, it can't get worse than last year, right? Right? Cleveland is such an enigma to me. They'd be legitimate contenders if they bothered to spend more than near minimum rate just to spite themselves. It's a blessing and a curse. Boasting a strong development system, yet lacking the desire to fortify that strong youth. Colin Zardo and Brian Rocchio need a full-time shot, so Josh Naylor's on his way out. Andres Jimenez, too.
It's a big bat for
Here's
Arizona.
Jose Ramirez for time of turn. The Guardians did manage to keep Shane Bieber around on a proven team. Hopefully he recovers fully from Tommy John. That bullpen's probably going to have to carry things for a bit here. But look yonder. Carlos Santana has returned.
Oh, wow.
Left in the tank. Cleveland's always that team everyone's scoffs at. Somehow pulls winning seasons out of their ass, and I'm honestly expecting the same thing here. And then they somehow lose to the Yankees in the playoffs and the cycle renews. Magical runs aren't a predictor for future success, but they're damn good stories to tell in the future. Hopefully it won't be a one-off with how they passed on most off-season wins. To be fair, I don't blame them for getting cold feet. It's a gigantic hole at shortstop that reminds them of why. Second base should be filled short-term with Cleveland Torres, at least. Plus, Jack Flaherty got rewarded for a successful prove-it deal.
Yeah, I definitely want to see Jack get back to Cardinals form. At his peak with the Cardinals, he was an absolute unit. If only we weren't so cheap.
With another prove-it deal. He'll be a nice addition to that damn good chorus of pitching arms. The key is in the evolution of their hitting core. There are promising pieces there, but they just need an extra bat or two to emerge in order to thrive. Regardless of outcome, there's only one certainty. Spencer Torkelson.
He'd better get it
Last chance,
together.
buddy. You already lost first base. Getting out of the endless abyss is one thing. To stay out of it is another entirely. The valiant play of Bobby Witt Jr. and steady veteran presence of Salvi Perez will do all they can to maintain postseason appearances. The massive spend.
I love Salvi. He's not a first ballot Hall of Famer. No. He may get in. He may, but chill.
I think they did last offseason. Michael Wacha has been extended for 3 years. Good work there.
Hey, good on you, Mike.
This is a piece for the bullpen. Royals infield, welcome to India. The reality is that the time is now to make a move. There won't be much in terms of reinforcements coming from the farm. Questions will need answered, but if their arms keep performing like they have, all they really need is for Bobby Witt Jr. to dominate. And then figure out what's going on with the potential new stadium. Hey, if things don't work out, Vinny Pasquantino might have a future as an NFL insider. You have an organization that's been pissing in fear of its own shadow for 18 months. A remarkable collapse with an injury-riddled core and a lapsed RSN deal. This should indicate that serious changes need to be made for sustainability, but that will cost money. Fans are getting next to nothing. Wait, I shouldn't say that. They are getting the Orioles hitting coach. Ignore their collapse in hitting at the end of last year. For the first time in ages, they finally signed free agents.
Harrison Bader.
Colombe, Harrison Bader, and Ty France. They're totally going to turn the tide and fix their roster's flaws. This is a group that could do something, but that relies on more than a few ifs. Mostly on their big three managing to stay healthy for over half the season and getting more than Bailey over to start games. Oh, would you look at that? Royce Lewis's hamstring is sore. Sounds like standard Twins things. The Athletics are the deadbeat rich kid that's been a blight to their family and has pissed away every opportunity given. Burning bridges left and right in the world's worst PR campaign. Like Bruce Wayne without the crime fighting at night. But now shit's getting real. Daddy's threatening to cut him off from the trust fund and the future will. So the prodigal son's gotta do things to keep the spigot flowing. Right after they gave the double bird to Oakland, and now they spend money. Great. Luis Severino's the biggest contract they've given out in franchise history. Lawrence Butler and Brent Roker given nice extensions for breakout seasons. John's doing everything he can to not only appease Las Vegas, but baseball itself. Please don't take away my credit card, Dad. I'll get a job, I swear. We'll sell tickets in Sacramento at a $213 average. 8 press box seats. 38 parking spots. Got at least 3 years of this, Ace.
Are you fucking kidding me? That's it? I know the park was small, but come on. This is Major League Baseball. Oakland, y'all deserve better. Again, Oakland. Jeez.
Enjoy your come to Jesus moment.
Oh, it's coming.
Not seeing the Astros lead off the AL West, isn't it? Hopefully it's not a sign of things to come. Old pieces of the championship core continue to be shed in the quest for financial resetting. Bergman, Presley, Verlander, Tucker, Urquidy, pack your gold-plated bags and get the hell out. Piper's coming to collect his due and creativity's needed to keep up appearances of competitiveness. Just without Nolan Arenado. You are getting his Christian Walker at first base. He's good when he's healthy. Isak Paredes might get out of his cubby fun too. But think of the old guy. Jose Altuve is still kicking ass and taking names.
Yeah.
In left field?
Left field, though.
Really, left field?
I don't know about that.
Sharing time with your Don? Better hope the prospect core and whatever their bullpen is supposed to be is up to snuff. If not, it's gonna be a long year. People still believe the Angels can do anything. The greatest achievement as of late is being cucked by their neighbor to the west. The Artie Moreno special is throwing money at veteran free agents while avoiding the pitfalls of the luxury tax. It happened again here. Jorge Soler, Travis d'Arnaud, Kenley Jensen, Yusei Kikuchi for $20 million a year? Decent buys, but are they really going to do anything? It means nothing if Mike Trout's insane talent keeps breaking down. He's moving to right field to try and maintain his health, which is a shame for baseball fans everywhere. Anthony Rendon is also a great shame to baseball. He's becoming more obscure on the diamond than trying to find Bigfoot.
Dude's become a complete meme.
How unbelievably shocking. Even Robert Stevenson's gonna play this year, man. The only thing more shocking is how things can't get much worse for them. Chances of success are around 54%. If there's any hope, it's possibly the best rotation in all of baseball. Now, you'd think they'd supplement those dream arms by doing anything about the inept things they call hitters over there, but that's too logical. Why splurge on quality pieces when you can go dumpster diving at the one-year contract store? The Mariners' cell phone RSN's about dead, so gotta get back on the senses. Even Justin Turner's calling the ends out on this shit. Unless Rosarena and J-Rod go back to what they were, you can't trust Seattle to do anything to complement their pitching. It'll be 2-1 games from here to September. They might sneak into a wildcard spot with 85 to 90 wins, great. But they could be so much more.
Yes, they
I'm
could.
a Mariners fan, I'm bitching up a storm. We're praying they get visited by three spirits. Let's forget last year ever happened. I think their fans would appreciate that. The fortunate thing about hangovers is that they eventually go away. The Rangers have plenty of opportunity to bounce back. The young prospect core still has incredible pedigree. Leiter and Rocker should be getting more looks at the big league level. Leiter can't be as bad as last year, right? Jacob deGrom might pitch more than 5 games this year. There's plenty to be excited for in Arlington. They've even got burgers at the farm. Their team's age doesn't rear its ugly head throughout the year. The Rangers should be fine. The 6-man rotation and bullpen put together with duct tape and string will carry them to something. Might even be endlessly blown leads. Pitching questions in Texas, we surely haven't seen that in their history. Atlanta's in a strange spot for their sake. They have their core locked in. There'll be serious competition for postseason contention, but will it be enough to take on the kings of the NL? Like many in baseball, there's been a significant shedding in payroll. Yet they didn't lose a whole lot. That starting rotation should be solid, yet there are questions to ask. So what happens with life without Max Fried? Can Spencer Strider return to his old form?
That would be helpful for their staff.
Please stand up. How will Acuna fare after he's back from it? And is Jurickson Profar going to keep up the insane pace he hit at last year? Even after the Januaries? Mets and Phillies are going to be chomping at the bit to eat them alive. And with how badly they ran out of gas last year, durability will be a concern. Go hire a shaman or 6 to ward the injury spirits away. Welcome home, Marlins. Blowing it sky high's been...
You know, I watched a video earlier this morning. Shout out to Stark Raving Sports. It says, "Why are the Marlins always bad?" This is a franchise, and it is. If you're a fan of a team that has not won a World Series, so the Mariners, let's say, who else hasn't won a World Series? The Rockies, which that one should be more aggravating because they entered the league at the same time as the Marlins. But if you're a fan of a franchise that has not won a World Series or you've been waiting a long time, the Marlins in mere existence should piss you off. This will be their 32nd year of Major League, well, 31st, take the strike away. 31st year of full Major League Baseball. This team has never won their division, yet have 2 World Series championships, and have only made the playoffs 4 times in their entire history. That should irritate you. As we continue.
The tradition of Miami for many generations. But this Peter Bendix bomb isn't going to be as fruitless as the last nuking. No, it's going to work like it did in 97. Nearly everyone with a dam is gone. And that includes Jake Berger and Jesus Luzardo. Look, they're getting Yuri Perez and Sandy Alcantara back. It'll be enough to watch until they trade Alcantara once he's proven he's back to form. It's a very young team replaying 2018 and 2013 and 2004 and 1998 all in one. A tank to end all tanks. The Astros are paying more in pit money than Miami's paying their active roster. But the Dodgers are the problem, right? We said that 2025 was the year where the Mets would push for a World Series. Even if they come up short in this quest, Gaddy Steve can say he successfully won a dick measuring contest with the Yankees. Final cost of such a move? $765 million. Fairly sweet for Juan Soto's a nice consolation prize as well. The Dodgers are spending up the wazoo, and Cohen ain't gonna be one up there. Clay Holmes will go from pinstripe whipping boy to opening day starter. Reliable southpaw Sean Manaea is back in the fold. We're worried about losing the polar bear. His market was ice cold. He's back too. This offseason's been best case scenario for the orange and blue, but that's all it is. Everyone was hyping up their 2023 moves too. Look what happened there. Destroyed by injuries like the ones they've suffered so far. I don't think it's going to be a flameout like that, but you don't win a World Series until November. Script Grimace for another run and go from there. So what the hell do you do if you know? The rotation's still elite. Their bullpen suffered a decent bit of attrition. Their lineup, while strong, is getting older by the minutes. A loaded payroll for the 2022 All-Star team. A ticking time bomb like Nick Castellanos during a national tragedy. The big fish are secret nabs, but they did secure some reinforcements for another push. Max Kepler for outfield pump and Jesus Luzardo is an intriguing buy low candidate. Maybe Jordan Romano's elbow really isn't great at cheese either. Pressure cooker's sealing up tight for these boys. It's going to make either a delicious roast or burn the whole house down. A lot of big pieces are headed into their mid-30s. Age takes everyone. And it might take the Phillies if they're not careful. They are finally free. The burden has been removed from their necks once and for all. The MASN dispute has been resolved. No such luck on getting out of Strasburg Steel Harbor. Washington's a very, very young team. One still trying to find their footing after years of circling the post-World Series drain. With a few ringers brought into aid, the Nats have the chance to make strides if they aren't out gambling at 8 a.m.
That's what Party Young is.
This will be the first year that Cruz and Wood get a full look in the show. Brady House will be with them as well. Not to mention the luck that blessed them in the late 2000s is back and forth. They won the draft lottery.
Oh, wow.
Money is theirs. It's a lot of ifs, though. And in this division, ifs probably aren't going to be good enough. At least they aren't Miami. Feels like the Cubs are in the rebellious golf phase and get embarrassed by Dad as he takes them into targets. You're disappointed in me for my actions? Well, fuck you. I'm going to Houston to get my wares. I'm not kidding. They looked to the Astros and got Kyle Tucker and Ryan Presley. They do realize Presley was awful last year, right? Cody Bellinger's contract's off the books, but at what cost? Tucker still hasn't been extended, so they paid a premium price for what could be a rent. Meanwhile, above them, Tom Ricketts has been whining about spending, which gets as much sympathy as Harry and Meghan doing their Woe Is Me act. Pricey, aging team or not, they're going to squeeze any talent of this group like Justin
Fourth
Turner's
oldest team in the league.
Last year was a massive disappointment, and projections love these guys to death. Might be more due to how weak the NL Central looks on paper. Check back in June for a clearer answer. Grand experiment will begin with Tito calling the shots. If Francona can't pull any form of consistency out of these players, nobody will. Incredible young talent that needs to be harnessed for the powers of good. But there are reinforcements on the way. Cincy, meet your new second baseman, exiled Dodger Gavin Lux. Hell, Jose Trevino got muscled out of New York. He's your new catcher. Brady Singer's been pretty good in Kansas City, and the Reds desperately need rotation depth due to injury. He'll work too. This is the epitome of a boom or bust team. As enigmatic and mysterious as Ellie De La Cruz on any given day. On the off chance they get everything lined up in order, the rest of the NL Central is doomed. Either this glorious outcome or repeating the same shit as last year. Your call. I'd reckon all of Cincy would prefer if you didn't frustrate the hell out of them again. You want to feel bad for Milwaukee? Don't. They do most of the shit to themselves, if we're being honest. Another brutal postseason choke on doing your ambitions? Too little to rectify it. In fact, exile the tipping Devin Williams in the style of Trent Grisham for his faux pas. He was far from the only part that was sentenced to leave. Shakiness of their RSN deal has forced an insatiable desire to shed payroll. If they could, they'd find a way to break Reese's and Yelich's legs to get out of those contracts. Instead, the Brew Crew get low-risk veteran ads and Jose Quintana and Nestor Cortez to the rotation. Just avoid Freddie Freeman in the last scenario. Also getting Brendan Woodruff back. That's a quality ad, technically. Great bullpen depth or not, it's smelling like the same damn scenario seasons past with these boys. Unless they find a way to assemble hitting depth, they're screwed. Jackson Churio, are you ready to be Superman? You expected the Pirates to do something. That's hilarious. You boast one of the most exciting rotations the league offers. Paul Skeens is one of the best arms in the league already. You have the core of your choice locked up long term. What do you do to supplement it? Go to the fucking goodwill. A glaring hole at first base filled with the might of Spencer Horwitz. He's been hurt most of spring training. Random placeholders. Adam Frazier. Tommy Pham. They were good a few years ago. Bullpen, same damn thing. Andrew Heaney's good rotation depth, but he'll probably be traded at the deadline for a pitcher in the Dominican League. Who gives a
I look forward to this man's ranting and bitching this summer about the Pirates. He's got a handful of videos about the Pirates. In case you can't tell, he's a yinzer.
Shit about that when Kutch might be one of your best hitters. Keep trotting him out there as fan apathies and levels not seen in decades. Shoulda get off the pot, Buccos. Want to rebuild without really calling it a rebuild. Whatever route you vote over there, I guess. Goldie's gone and Arenado's stuck in anchor contract limbo. Sorry, buddy, the Dodgers already have a third baseman. It's Houston or nothing. Still here until time eternal, apparently. The high and bloom era has finally begun with what the Cardinals should have been doing for a little bit. The clone in the NFL can learn a thing or two about that. The team's a mishmash of prospects eager to make a statement and veterans lingering around for continuity. The rotation boasts Sonny Gray and...
That's about it.
Michaelis and Fetty do something. The bullpen is led by thoughts and prayers. Sometimes the Band-Aid just has to be ripped off. This is St. Louis. Play all you want, but it's for the best. Nobody in that city was paying to watch this shit. Goal here is to make sure it doesn't come down to game 100.
You know, he's not wrong. Where last year was the first time I can recall in got to be 2 decades that we didn't draw the famous 3 million at the gate. As long as we get 3 million fans, everything's all right, and we don't have to do diddly. It's irritating. I just want to see what the kids do this year. I'm looking forward to seeing more of Mason Wynn and Jordan Walker being fully healthy. I really think he could be a big-time asset, but he's got to be healthy. So we will see. I'm cautiously optimistic. You know, I heard from a friend of mine earlier that the Cardinals are going to lose 100 games. Like, we won 83 games last year. I believe we can, still be around that area. But don't speak like we're the White Sox, y'all.
162. Arizona's problems are pretty obvious to anyone who paid attention. Pitching depth. They have everything else in space. They can score runs at will. They have fantastic fielding, but the pitching depth? Good Lord. It cost them any chance of further postseason glories in 2024. And the rivals are loading up for another crusade, especially those in Dodger blue. A foil to Zach Gallen is of critical importance. I'd say Corbin Burns is a good solution to such a need. With Merrill Kelly returning to health, it should lead to a strong three-man rotation come October. Now, as long as their bullpen fleshes out and the hitting core continues to rake with a fresh Josh Taylor, they may have a chance to go deep again. Force them to go to therapy and solve the great dilemma of their time. Jordan Montgomery after being chucked under a bus. He's still here. Maybe he can pay them to make up for the RSN losses.
Oh, magic conch shell. What do we need to do to get out of the kelp forest? Nothing.
The show has spoken!
Nothing. We can't just sit here and do nothing.
Status quo is the franchise model. Damn it, the Rockies used to be pretty cool. This is pathetic. Yeah.
You've been living under a rock. This was the offseason that pissed off everyone in their mouth. Pretty nice to build a dream team when your farm system's all of East Asia. They heard all the Mickey Mouse ring jokes and took it personally when they won a real one. Nearly every major free agent is now in LA. We're all fucked. Remember, kids, Dodgers aren't the problem. A good chunk of the league is for not spending check and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Anything less than another championship will be knocked to hell and back. Have fun, baseball. Congratulations, you lost out on another top prize in Roki Sasaki to hated brother up north. I'd say that's the worst thing that's happened to you this offseason, but the squabble over Peter Seidler's...
I take it back. The second, I mentioned how the Mets have the biggest little brother complex. The second biggest is the Padres. They want to beat the Dodgers so damn bad. I think they're more concerned with being better than the Dodgers than they are winning the World Series.
Unfulfilled ambition has all but thrown the Padres astray. After being left in the cold weather prize, their only offseason acquisition of note was Nick Pivetta. That didn't happen until February. It's the cold reality of life in San Diego. They might have squandered their best shots to win. With Peters passing and the Dodgers on the warpath, the only way for them to succeed is for Jackson Merrill to become their version of Juan Soto. Their core is still intact, but the Bogarts deal of buyer's remorse on it since day one, and Yu Darvish is 38. Rumors about guys like Arise and Sea Squirrel on every corner. They're stuck, and I don't envy the Padres. It's obvious they're a good team, but are they good enough? San Francisco is caught up in a maelstrom of quandaries. They desire everything in their power to win, but are stuck in a division with the Dodgers, Diamondbacks, and Padres. Those three are going to outshine them if only because of their profile. Trying to add luxury items to a suspiciously shaky foundation. Finally not being spurned at the altar by a big free agent. Presenting Willie Adames. Hopefully filling the gaping Brandon Crawford hole in short. They may have lost Blake Snell to the fucking Dodgers, but the Giants got the next best thing.
Wow.
Verlander. He's a shell of himself at 42, but he can still throw a ball. Might have been injured to hell last year, but he's got better durability than Jung-Hoo Lee at least. Yes, this team is in the middle of an identity crisis. Thanks for that, Farhan. On the outside looking in, San Fran reeks of mid-tier goodness clinging onto the playoff ledge. Pray they hold on. Baseball, what do you have in store for us this go-around? A long grind's always tough to predict, and I feel the AL's very hard to gauge in 2025.
Yeah, I would say.
The AL East I'm going to give it to the Orioles, but that may be more because of Garrett Cole's injury. It'll be pretty close there. The AL Central, flip a coin. 4 teams have an equal chance of winning it, but I'm choosing Kansas City due to upside. The AL West is a choice between a few teams, and I feel the Rangers are the best chance to bounce back of the bunch. For wildcards, the choices for me are the Yankees, Red Sox, and Mariners. So many honorable mentions to consider, though. The NL is much clearer. The Mets take the NL East with some resistance from Braves and Phillies. The NL Central's the wildcard, but I think the Cubs take it with their upgrades. Do I even have to go over it? The wildcards are going to be the Diamondbacks, Braves, and Phillies. San Diego also has a legit chance at the final spot. Too many variables to come to a consensus. But the season's about to begin. Let's play some ball.
Alright, so he's going to reverse jinx somebody. Tree is notorious for doing that. You see that team on the blanket there? He reverse jinxed and the Blues wound up winning a Stanley Cup. Did the same thing for the Washington Nationals in the same year. If he makes a video about your team, there's a possibility you're going to win a championship for the first time. Anyway, that was great. Super excited for the season. And big shout out to Urinating Tree. Of course, freaking legend on the platform. If you haven't already, subscribe to his channel. And while you're at it, subscribe to mine. And until next time, go Birds. And let's enjoy some baseball. And this is your boy K-Rob, the Human Sports Encyclopedia. I will see you in the next one.